Live. We're on live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Traveling with Bruce. It's your host, Bruce, here in good old Creston, British Columbia. How you guys doing? Welcome to Memorial Day. My American friends, you got a long weekend. We don't. We had ours last weekend, so it's a regular work day over here in Canada, but we love it when Americans have long weekends. We find convenient ways to, not feel too well sometimes on Thursdays leading up to Memorial Day. Thursdays you get that little, a little sore throat, just one of those spring coughs, I suppose, and we have to take Thursday off. And, well, we have to head to the airport, in Canada, and then we have to fly, south where the weather is warm and trustworthy, to get some more vitamin D from the sun and, maybe head to Vegas. Catch up with what's going on the strip, and just, hang out Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday, and, maybe come home Sunday, be back at work Monday, or, take that extra day, Monday off, and call in Monday, just not feel too good. But, got to make sure when you call the boss that there are no clinking of slot machines in the background, that kind of thing, and work our way back to, work our way back home on Monday night, get back to the office on Tuesday, look a little worse for wear. After all, we've been sick all weekend. Just the fact that we look a little tired from having not slept so much, and a couple of fun times beside the pool down at the down at the Bellagio. Those things happen. I'm working off. I'm fighting off the cold any way I can to kind of get over the hump and get back to the office and be a team player and a contributor to the cause. Yeah, that's it, contributor. Not that I've ever done anything like that before. Never. No, not me. Never miss a day at work. Always there. Fight the cause. Well, that's decades ago. And those bosses, they died of old age. They're not around anymore. Heck with those guys from the 80s. So what can I say? How you doing? I hope you're staying dry in the United States. I tell you, we've been watching the news up here, all the craziness of the tropical or subtropical storm Alberto, and it's just bands of rain. I've been getting messages here the last 40 minutes before I went on the air, folks telling me that they haven't really got that much, but it all depends, I guess, where in Florida you are and whether you're in Georgia or whether you're in South Carolina. And then, of course, what's going on in Baltimore, just outside of Baltimore? What the heck's going on down there? These crazy flash floods ripping through these towns, taking cars with them and taking houses. And, oh, my God, what has happening down there? It's crazy cuckoo, just insane, but hopefully everyone will be all right. It'll be a bit waterlogged, though, I guess, in certain spots. What are you going to do? You're going to have to deal with it. But welcome to the wacky weather that we've been dealing with lately. Here in the Western Canada, not far from here, far from here, enough away from here not to be a bother for us in Creston, just north of the U.S. border. About a couple hundred miles away from us, we have forest fires because of how dry it is. And then in Alberta, where I'm originally from Calgary, city of 1.2 million people, I suppose, with the suburbs added. There's some wildfires, within an hour of Calgary. I mean, what the heck's that all about? Just stupid dry. We did not have a mega wet Christmas this year, I guess. And so there's some forest fire activity there. But there's rain expected in Calgary this coming week. So, and that whole area is going to get deluged with a downpour. So that should be the end of that. But the interior of British Columbia, I don't know what's going on there. It's wacky systems. Depending on what mountain range divides you in the Pacific Ocean and the prairies, you get these systems that either come through or don't. And sometimes it's too wet, sometimes it's too dry, sometimes it's just right. Here in Creston, it's just right where I am. We're about 80 degrees right now. Gorgeous sunny day. The snow is gone. There's a 4,500-foot mountain range just about 5 miles away from here, and I can only see little slivers of white in the deep crevices of the mountains, and even there, above the white snow, it's gone. Below, it's gone. So these little pockets of white snow area, they're about to be totally annihilated. The only snow I see now is at 7,500 feet here in Idaho. And even there, if it's in the sunshine, the mountain is dry, rocky top. Only where the trees are can snow hide now, and it's just melting off. So we're done for with the winter around here. So thank you for that. We're back into spring and moving into summer aggressively, and we'll be in the 90s probably in the next week or two. we'll start hitting the upper 80s and 90s around here, which is normal because we get that cool weather in the spring, the winter weather, and then we get the hot weather in the summer. And that's how our peaches and our plums, and of course the apples and the pears, that's how they just flourish here. Cherries are well underway. We should be picking cherries in about 2 to 3 weeks aggressively here, and other fruits. Strawberries are already being picked now. And yeah, it's fruit growing season around here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Fertile soil all around us. Absolutely wonderful. And what did I do for a good time? Let me tell you what I did yesterday for a good time. I had my lawn guy here last week who had to weed whack my yard and then mow it, and it's all weeds. And he dropped off a little bit of some weed killer for me in one of those pump type drums that you put the water in, you put the weed killer in, you mix it all up, and then you pump it full of pressure and you use a spray hose. I got to spray hose my yard the other day. Yeah. And what do I do for fun now? I look out my window to see how badly my weeds are doing. And I'm happy to say a bunch of them are droopy, not doing too well. They're not very happy. Even though it's a gorgeous sunny day, they're just kind of, this weed killer is killing me, man. Yeah, that's what it's for. Get rid of these guys. I'm just inundated with this stuff. And if you don't work your lawn, you really pay the price. So I did that the other day and said hi to my neighbor. And well, there you go. So that's what Bruce does for a good time. And Bruce has put new logos on the Redbubble website for new shirts, coffee mugs, tote bags, stickers, and whatever. So if any of you folks are heading to the Redbubble store, check out the new swag. This is just my order last week. I just want to also give you a heads up. Today only, it's not my sale, it's Redbubble. The Redbubble people have reduced prices on all merchandise for Memorial Day, 20% off anything you order on any Redbubble site, including mine. So even my tees and my mugs and everything else, they're all 20% off today. So if you want to take advantage of grabbing any of my swag, this is your chance. The channel, still not a monetized YouTube channel, but I keep getting messages from my friends out there that other channels are starting to become monetized again. Little signs of life. They say on YouTube, they still say by the end of June, they should be through their re-monetization thing. Hopefully I'm in that mix. I'm waiting for the commercials to start showing again on my channel so that they'll start paying me a few bucks every day, but nothing yet. So I live off the goodness and gracious donations from you guys. I did receive a PayPal donation. I think it was it Saturday night? It was after my last show, and an order came in as well for some more product on the site. So again, thank you for all of you out there. Some of you like to remain anonymous. Some of you don't mind me telling. But thank you for any and all donations that come through my PayPal site in particular. I know I get during my live show, you can make super chat donations, and I've been getting those less and less because I've been asking you to, rather than give me super chats where I only get 70% of the action, go to my PayPal site, which is on my channel homepage, and I get 93% of all the donations, even 94, and depending on the where it's from. Anyway. I love it. So every time I get one of those, I see the flash show up. I get an email on my phone, and you can do a contribution to my channel anytime you want if you want. 24/7. It doesn't matter, in any currency you want, wherever in the world you are. If you feel that you want to help this YouTuber out, I say yes, please do. I thank you very much. And I get these. I get Hong Kong dollars. I get Canadian dollars. I get New Zealand dollars. I get Australian dollars. I get British pounds. I get American dollars. It just comes through, and thank you one and all for any donation you make to this channel. I appreciate it very much. It's my only form of income. This is my full-time job. Subscribers, to update you on, we got more. I was on the air Saturday at 2,062. I'm now at 2,076. Another 14 subscribers in the last 24, 48 hours have come through. Thank you, new joiners. I hope I don't disappoint you with my live streams. I try to let a lot of the new subscribers, they find me because of my #1 video, which I've talked about off and on now for months, called Top 10 Tips for New Cruisers. That video has been going through some gyrations the last month or so, but in the last week and a half, it seems to have stabilized, and is now back to about 700 or 800 views a day on average. just keeps kind of chugging along, which is fantastic. A lot of new cruisers find me through that video, and then they check my channel out for other stuff I've done, and they go, wow, this guy's got 230, 40 videos out there. I'm going to subscribe to him so I can kind of catch up on what he talks about, because he talks about new cruisers ideas all the time. And I encourage any of you folks who are new to my channel, if you've just found me, check out the live streams that we're doing right here, Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern time in the US, Saturdays at 2 o'clock Eastern time. We love talking about cruise ships, cruise deals, what's going on in the cruise world, the new ships that are coming up, the ports of call you can go to. We talk about the hurricanes or bad weather or cancellations or anything like that. And you're welcome to come to this channel, ask me anything you want about going on a cruise. I'm more than happy to try to answer your questions for you. If I can't answer it, my viewers who are signing in right now on my phone, on their phones and on their tablets and on their through their TVs, they're saying hi to me and they're telling me where they are, what's their high temperature today, what kind of weather are they getting, and we love talking about cruise ships. So if I don't have the answer, one of them probably do, and we'll steer you straight. And you're not getting any biased information from a rep. I don't work for a cruise company. I'm not a travel agent. I'm just a traveler like you, loves talking about cruise ships and cruise ship vacations, and I just give it to you straight. My opinions are my own, and I'm not paid by anyone to sit here and talk, other than by you folks helping me by buying this merchandise or sending me a donation, or Patreon, even becoming a patron of mine, going to my Patreon page and making a monthly pledge. I think it's $3 a month or more is all I ask. And thank you for all of your support and all of your thoughts, best wishes, and everything else. I'm throwing my glasses on because on my phone here, the messages are just coming on in, and I got to say hi to everybody. And I like to say hi to you too. So say hi to me, and I'll say hi to you. And let's see what's going on today. Joseph Hollyfield, he signed in today and told me, hello, Bruce, it's 73 and rainy in Bostic, North Carolina. You're starting to get those, obviously, those bands, but you've been getting rain anyway, just through other systems, I know. It's been a wet couple of weeks out on the East Coast and the eastern U.S., half of the U.S. But Joseph, welcome to the show. Glad to have you back here. Blaine Rayleigh is also here. Hey, Blaine, how's it going, pal? Hi, Bruce and cruising friends. 82 in Hilton Head today with isolated thunderstorms, 85% humidity. That's feeling hot. That is definitely feeling hot. Welcome back, Blaine. I'm glad you're back here and keeping us posted. I know when you're going on your cruise, you'll keep us posted on how you're doing there, too. Peter Heckema is here. Hi, Bruce. We didn't get too much of a weather event from Alberta. A little rain and some wind this morning. Not as bad as we expected in our area. Fantastic. I think the panhandle of Florida will get it worse. I think you're right, looking at the satellite imagery. Richard C., happy Memorial Day 2018 to all our vets and families, and for those who paid the ultimate price to allow us in the United States to enjoy our freedom, and for this show, cruising, and also to go on cruises. Absolutely. Thanks to everybody. Same with Canada. We, of course, have Victoria Day. We have Veterans Day, and we remember our own as well. And we thank them all for their service to our respective countries, of course. Cam Wilson, yeah, we didn't get as much as originally planned, Cam goes on to say, from Alberta. It's actually sunny now here. Right on, getting off light. Fantastic. Wes Morrison, hey, Bruce. Hi there. 95 here in New Braunfels, Texas. The 100-degree days are expected to start this week. Yes, sir. The other 5 degrees a week. It just keeps coming, keeps coming. It's going to be warm. Rayvon is here. Hi, you. Okay, hi, Rayvon. How you doing there, pal? Paul Wilgus. Hi, Bruce and all. 72 and raining here in Virginia. Starting to get the northern bands from Alberta. Yeah, I would imagine you would be. They're going to start to come through. Joseph went on to say there have been mudslides in North Carolina as well. Unbelievable. Debbie Manuel. Hi, Bruce. 96 already in Chico today. Chico, Northern California. Hey, Debbie. Jim and I are watching the show together today. Hey, how you doing, Jim? I hope you're on your best behavior. How's your knee doing? Be careful, because if you say something wrong, Debbie could just take a little yardstick and just give you a little whack on your knee to kind of straighten you out. So watch yourself there. I hope that knee's improving. It must be if you're moving. You're with Debbie. I hope you're getting better. Debbie, keep him moving. Don't let him get stiffed up there. Scott Batchley is here. Hi, everyone. Another week closer to my next cruise. 115 days. 115 days till I head for the Bliss. Of course, another nice day in Ventura. 66 degrees. Steady Eddie in Ventura. Scott, that's great. 115 days. I hear you. It's a long time to wait, but each day goes by. It just goes by. Raymond, hey, how you doing, buddy? Seakeeper, hi, Bruce, and all 84 degrees in Tequista, Florida. We got some rain yesterday. Nothing worrisome. Thumbs up. So far, so good. That's great news. Jim Thomas, hey, all. Bruce getting ready for heat here in North California, area pushing 100. Hanging out with Debbie. Sylvia is here. Hi, Bruce. Sylvia, Greensboro, North Carolina, 83 degrees. Feels like 89. High sticky humidity with rain. It is, dear. Hang in there. Stay indoors in that air conditioning. PJ Drayton breaking record highs here in Omaha, Nebraska. 100 degrees yesterday. Close to that today. Thank goodness for air conditioning. Absolutely right. Isn't that something? Tommy Eaton is also here today. Hey, Bruce. Hi, Bruce and all. Mostly cloudy and light rain with a temperature of 82 degrees. Tommy, welcome back. Nina Frank from Sweden. Hi, Bruce and all folks out there. Greetings from a warm Sweden, 20 degrees Celsius at 11 p.m. in the evening. Very nice, very pleasant. That's fantastic. Maurice is saying in 19 days, I will be on a cruise, and one of the ports will be Cozumel, Mexico. With everything that's going on in Mexico, that is not being safe. Should I stay on the ship? Well, Cozumel apparently is settled down. There was an incident. There seemed to have been there was like for like a week or two, about 2 months ago, there was an advisory by the U.S. State Department to Americans, basically all travelers, to avoid the ferries that go from Cozumel. These are privately run ships, boats that run from Cozumel to the mainland in Cancun, because a lot of folks go on tours on the mainland, and there were some problems with some of the ferries, or at least one of them anyway. There was a worry that there might have been a bomb there, and further investigation found out it wasn't tourism related at all, and Mexican police and I'm sure FBI and other agencies coordinated and cooperated together to get to the bottom of what was going on there. Security has been beefed up and always is. You may not see it so easily, but then again, you do see it sometimes where you'll be walking along in Mexico. You'll be going from the ship to maybe a shopping mall across the street. And just look down the road, there's an army vehicle with 20 guys in there with machine guns. Now look over here. There's a personnel carrier there with a bunch of guys. Security's high for American and all tourists, Canadian and European, you name it. Mexico very seriously takes its tourism business. Very seriously. It knows, the Mexican authorities know how they can pay bills. And one way to pay bills is bring in foreign currency from visitors to your country, and Cozumel is no exception. It depends on what you want to do in Cozumel, I guess is going to be my answer to you. If you want to head to like a Senior Frogs or to to a place to get a couple of drinks for your party, cheap beer, margarita, whatever, head to shore. Absolutely go, and you'll be fine. You're in a heavily populated area there. You're going to be fine. If you're taking a tour from the ship, say you want to go on an organized tour, and it might be on Cozumel itself, Cozumel proper. Well, then if you're on a tour bus with that's sponsored by the cruise line, you should be all right. If you're going to take a mainland tour, like if you want to take in some of the maybe the Mayan ruins or anything like that, if you can get any kind of tour like that, well, then you're going to have to go on the ferry and head to the mainland. And again, these ships will hold 100, 150, 200 people. They're rather large, and again, there's security there, sponsored by the ship or connected to the cruise line, perhaps. Look into it. But again, it depends on how you feel. If the water's too choppy and it's really windy and howly, you may not want to go on the tour. Now, if you've already pre-booked it, you're kind of committed, so can't help you there. If you cancel, you might lose your deposit or lose your fare. But for me, when I was there with my wife, we just walked off the ship. We're on the pier. We headed into the little touristy area there, walked around a little bit, just stretched our legs, and went to the where were we? They went to the Hooters. And free Wi-Fi. We ordered a beverage. I had a Diet Coke. My wife, I think, had a margarita maybe, and then we ordered a big old bowl of. I think we had some hot fudge cake with some ice cream on it. It's supposed to be for one. We had it for two. We got 2 spoons. One of us couldn't finish this, and we just lazily spooned on that, grazed on it per se, and we got the Wi-Fi for free. And we checked our emails and checked a few Facebook inquiries, that type of thing. It was great. Maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then we lazily hoofed our way back on the ship. And like I say, most of our time was spent on the ship, but we spent a little time on ship. play it by ear. If it's raining, stay on the ship. If it's windy and ugly, stay on the ship. If it's great, sunny, and glorious, it's too hot, stay on the ship. Otherwise, put a hat on, put on some sunscreen, take a walk, grab one of those bicycle taxis that they have where the guy does all the pedaling. You just sit on the little thing at the back there and throw him a few bucks and go for a ride, whatever. You'll be fine. You should be just fine. I hope that works out for you, Maurice. I'm sure it will. Let's see here. Sylvia, is the Carnival Magic still hanging out in Tampa? Sailed out tomorrow. Yes, the Carnival Magic is still in Tampa. Technical issues delayed it from leaving yesterday, Sunday. It was supposed to leave on Tuesday, and now with Alberto past Tampa and headed now to land, it should be on land by now. By tomorrow afternoon, Alberto is but a memory to Tampa. And so that ship should have no trouble sailing out of Tampa with regard to the weather. But technically speaking, I'm assuming the ship will be up and running and ready to go. I have a story today that I want to talk to you guys about, which as soon as I finish my hellos, I'll talk to you about this. This has to do with the Carnival miracle. Oh my, what a story this is. I'll get to it in a minute. Melody 72 here in Tennessee. Melody, welcome back to my channel and my show today. Mary Allmeyer is here. Mary, 94 in Detroit area. Howdy, the Motor City. Love to have you here, Mary. Stuck at home under quarantine with pink eye. I'm sorry to hear that. You just reminded me. I just saw an episode. I don't know how old this episode is or brand new. It's the Big Bang Theory where everybody got pink eye on the wedding for Sheldon and Skell. I just laughed. I'm sorry I'm laughing about this. I'm hoping that your pink eye is a small case of pink eye and you get well soon, my dear. But oh my God, that episode just made me croak. The rest of the family is out doing water sports at a friend's house. Oh well, I got to watch you live now. Happy Memorial Day, and I hope I didn't impress you by making reference to that pink eye episode. Mary, hang in there and do what the doctor says. If you've gone to the doctor and take your meds, and you should be all right. Welcome to the show. Cool Jazz. Hey, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Good to hang with you today. Overcast 73 in New York City. Cool Jazz. How are you? How's my Big Apple doing out there? I love that town. Hope everything is good in the big city. Do you know when Norwegian raised the gratuities on the drinks to 20%? That would have been not too long ago. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything official about that. I know that they raised it from 15 to 18% a couple of years ago, and now there's been talk. I've heard that NCL bumped their gratuity on the ship, the Norwegian, I think it's Norwegian Sun, Norwegian Star, maybe the Sky. These are the three, there's 2 or 3 ships that will be going from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Port Canaveral to the Bahamas and to Cuba, to doing these 3- and 4-day runs. And these ships have been recently refurbished. The Sun, the Norwegian Sun being the one that had all those passengers stuck on that construction cruise through the Panama Canal. They were heavily refurbished. And the cruise line decided we're going to keep these 20-year-old, 18, 15, 20-year-old ships in service by refurbishing them. And then we'll put them into these 3- and 4-day runs to the Bahamas and to Cuba. But we'll make these cruises mandatory booze cruises. We're basically going to include at no extra charge, a drink package. Well, okay. Take a look at a cost of a 3-day or a 4-day cruise on a balcony with these guys on these older ships, and you'll quickly figure out $200 to $220 a night. That's not a throw-in at all of a drink package. That is a $120 cruise bumped up to $200 with an $80 drink package or whatever the rate they're trying to get. Not the greatest deal at sea, I would say, but they've also included, talking about tipping, they've included a mandatory $20 a day tipping charge on those 3- and 4-day cruises. It's not optional, it's mandatory. So now you're paying $210, $220 a night for a balcony, plus another $20 tip money on top of that. I don't consider that a great deal myself. I'd rather be on the Bliss, or go on the Getaway, or get on another, the Epic, or whichever one of their other cruise ships, newer, modern, all the amenities. And thank you. I'll decide whether or not I want to buy a drink package or not. I may not be able to keep up with you guys. I'm not a drinker anyway, so wouldn't want to do it. So this 20% tip, if that's gone through as an official policy, I'm not surprised. I'm just not. I just see them just going to these kinds of numbers and then making it automatic. It's kind of crazy. What are you going to do? Gregory Hartman, gorgeous here in Tampa now. Strong winds, though. Glad I made it alive. I'm glad I made it live. Gregory, thanks for coming to the show. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I don't know if there's any southern bands that are coming your way from the passing of that system, Alberto. But, you know, next day or two, it'll eventually peter out in your area, hopefully, and things will be back to normal. Cam Wilson, I've only got 16 days till my next cruise. I'm so excited. Yeah, 16 days, Cam. Gregory Hartman, you should always fly on the day before, never the day of. Very good, Gregory. Swan, it's the miracle, not the magic. Oh, it's the miracle. Sorry, folks. It's the miracle, not the magic. Carla Miller. Hi, Bruce. 93 degrees in Arlington, Texas. I'm flying in the day of my cruise. Don't ask. I'm not even sure why we're doing this crazy thing. Yes, Carla, you are playing with fire, and I got a story here just waiting to come at you guys. Gregory saying, be careful. Gregory, my aunt, is a flight attendant for the flight I went on and still didn't get on. Carla Miller, I'm trying to come up with a plan B. Cam Wilson, we're driving down there on the day of my cruise. I wish we could go the day before. Gregory Hartman, where are you cruising out of? Nina, did you move closer to the window? Carla Miller, Galveston, Texas. Coming out to Nina, I've just moved the camera back a little bit so you can see my logo on my shirt. That's all I'm doing. I'm marketing here. This is what I'm doing. Bruce is wearing a swag, you know. And for you guys who are watching me live every day, this is not new for you. This is not news. You know I have shirts. You know I have product. You know who I am. But for those of you who are watching me after this show, who are watching me a week from now, a month from now, who have no idea who I am, you just have to stumble across my channel. I'm traveling with Bruce. That's who I am. And I've got swag. I'd love to have you buy some of this and help support my channel. That's all I'm doing. Just working here. Carla saying she's coming out of Galveston. Gregory, how far of a drive? Cam Wilson, for me, I'm going to Miami. It's 7 hours. Wow. Carla Miller, only about 4 or 5 hours, but the cruising is a repositioning cruise going out of Galveston, but returning to Port Canaveral. Gregory, just be careful on I-95. Gregory, try checking on driving services or rent a car to drive as a backup, or even Uber if the rental price is too high as plan B, of course. Cam Wilson, yay, we're getting the van. Great idea. Technical issues? Greg Hartman, nice. All right. Maurice is asking, did you see the Jim's video on the Nito name, Don't Book a Balcony in the Bliss? Yes, I did. I did see Jim Zim's video about Don't Book a Balcony on the Bliss. And then immediately you see him standing there wearing a hoodie that says clickbait on it. And he's laughing. And he's apologizing, saying, hey, it's a pure clickbait thing. Of course you want to book a balcony, but don't book a balcony, book a spa balcony. And then he went right into the spa, and that man is after my heart. I love that guy. He spent a lot of time in that spa area, which I would do. And he got me convinced. I know what I want to book when I get on that ship, for sure. Seakeeper bumped off a flight. What flight? I drive to the cruise terminal, skipping all those flight hassles. Goodbye, airport stress, TSA aggravation, lost baggage, etc. Ha ha. Right on, Seakeeper. Absolutely, it's what you want to avoid. I think Richard's saying, I think making the tips mandatory is great on ships. You won't get these cheapskates pulling the tips off their bill. Well, there you are. Cruel Jazz. I noticed that those cruise boozes are not a great deal. I hear you, Cool Jazz. Absolutely. Lalita Lucas here. Hey, Bruce, happy Monday. We got some rain from the Alberto bands. Tony, hey, Tony, how you guys doing today? Thanks for the shout out last week when I visited you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lalita Loca. They have a channel on YouTube. You guys, I think we should be doing some kind of a collaboration somehow. We got to get together. I think we'd have a lot of fun. I would love to do that. Got to do something on your channel. You got to do something on my channel. I was thinking as something as simple as I got to get you to call me on the phone and talk to me live on the air, and then the folks here can ask questions of you guys as we have a little chat on the air about our channels. I would love to have you on the show. That would be a great idea. We gotta plot something out. Perhaps we can talk on email later and figure it out. What do you think about that? Thomas Henry, hi everyone. Just back from a DR visit, a doctor visit. I hope you got the doctor's green light to go cruising, my friend. That's what you want. And Blaine is saying, Paul is saying, hey, Tony. And then Lita saying hi to everybody as well. Everyone's saying hi to everybody here. This is fantastic. How you guys doing? Everyone is good. We're all here on the same show. I love seeing you guys promoting each other. Cam saying, Blaine, yeah, Cruise Wars battle, let's do it. Debbie, love the videos of Tony and Jenny as well. All right, here's my story today that I was leading off with. I wanted to talk about, I titled the show, Bumped Off a Flight on Cruise Day or something like that. What do you do? I got an email or a message on my channel. I think it was Saturday, no, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, that's right. Yeah, okay, it's coming back. Yesterday, one of my viewers wrote me and said, yeah, relatives of mine, 4 of them, were trying to get out of Indianapolis today by air to fly to Tampa to get on the Miracle, to get on the cruise ship. The one that is stuck at the terminal until Tuesday was supposed to leave the terminal on Sunday, but delayed until Tuesday. And they got to the airport in the morning, and United Airlines informed them that, sorry, geez, there's 4 of you in the party. Gosh darn it, we only have 3 seats on the plane. We're going to have to bump you because we can't accommodate you. But that's all right. We'll get you on a flight tomorrow morning. How about that? Tomorrow morning, Monday morning, I'm going on a cruise. That leaves today. Oh my God, what do you do? This is the reason that I spend a lot of energy telling you folks, don't fly to your cruise ship on the day of the cruise. The plane is fine. The weather's fine. The airports are running. You'll make your connections. Everything's fine. But they bumped you off the flight. Why? Why would they? Well, they oversold the plane. And you're 10 minutes behind that last person who got on. And now you and 6 others, whoever, are coming, you think you're getting on the plane. You're not getting on that plane. You're bumped. You have no options. Now, what kind of compensation are they going to offer? Well, how can they offer you enough compensation? If you can't make the cruise, what if that ship was leaving Sunday afternoon from Tampa yesterday? These folks would have missed their cruise entirely. The cruise line the airline is not going to compensate you for missing your cruise. There's offering to get you to Tampa tomorrow when the ship is theoretically gone. Now, in this case, it got kind of interesting because the folks who were stuck at the terminal going, oh my gosh, we can't get on our plane to get on that cruise ship today. But then again, the cruise ship isn't leaving today. It's leaving on Tuesday. They went on and phoned the Carnival people. And this is where the story gets more bizarre. They phone Carnival and tell them what's going on. Carnival checks the reservation number and all that stuff. And, oh yeah, your ship is delayed until Tuesday, but you can't get in until tomorrow. Yeah, but we don't know if we can let you on the ship or not. What? You don't know? No, we don't know if we can let you on the ship or not. Well, why wouldn't Carnival say to them, well, you can get on the ship tomorrow. It's not leaving till Tuesday. Well, the reality is these folks were supposed to be on that ship Sunday afternoon, according to Homeland Security and the TSA people, the customs people. Forget about the Carnival people. They'll let you on the ship. That's okay. It's U.S. Customs and Homeland Security. You're on the manifest for that cruise for that week. That manifest was locked in 72 hours ago, 3 days ago by U.S. TSA rules. I don't know if they're going to get on the ship. They left this morning. I got a new message today. They're on the plane. They flew down there today, and they're hoping to get on the ship today. I don't know if they're going to be let on. This is going to be one of those we don't know situations. So I'm hoping to hear from these folks later tonight. I'll let you know anything I know as maybe in tomorrow's show. What do you do, right? Now, if the airline offered them a hotel last night, great. But then again, if you're from Indianapolis, what do you need a hotel for? 2, did they offer them a free flight anywhere United flies? Did they give them a voucher, like a credit voucher or a cash voucher? Did they give them cash? If so, how much? It won't make the difference. I do understand that on this cruise, supposed to be a 7-day cruise, they did get refunded 2 days of their 7-day fare for the cruise. Carnival announced that last week. And they got a cabin credit, but you can't use the credit unless you're on the ship. And I don't think they can cancel the cruise either. I don't think they can call Carnival and say we have to cancel because we can't get there. I don't know if Carnival will allow them to cancel. Carnival would have allowed them to cancel because of the event, the technical delay and everything else. But I think that might have been cut off until a certain point. This is one of those, what do you do with this? This is a real wacky story. And I keep coming back to this you know, little bit of advice. If you've got a cruise on Sunday, fly in Saturday, folks. Now, I get it. If you're close enough that you can drive it 7, 8, 9 hours with an emergency car rental, you do it, because the hope is that you get a deal out of the airline for enough cash that you can then rent a car and drive to your ship. But if you're talking about a 2,000 mile, 1,500 mile, like 2 hour, 3 hour flight time, maybe connections to get to you where you got to go, you cannot be coming in the day of the cruise. You're playing with fire, absolute fire, let alone Alberto creating problems with connections. Right now, Alberto in Atlanta, that should be fun. That airport should be everything's on time in Atlanta, I'm sure, with 10 inches of rain falling down. Flying in and out of Nashville, flying in and out of Charlotte, flying in and out of Savannah, flying in and out of you name the airports. I mean, go all the way up. The weather in Virginia, the weather in North Carolina, South Carolina, the weather's just been ridiculous. You gotta fly in the day before. Oh my goodness. So for my viewer who just mentioned to me, yeah, we're flying in the day of the cruise. Don't tell me why. Don't ask me why. Well, there you go. This you're just gambling. Thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars. And the money is one thing, but the aggravation is number two. And that one is worth more than money. How many sleepless nights, how many stress-filled headaches are you going to have trying to get your money back, or trying to collect travel insurance, or what to do with yourself? What to do with yourself? You booked a week off for a cruise, 4 days, 5 days a week, 10 days, whatever the cruise is. And now you're not even on it. Oh my gosh, it's just not right. Anyway, so what can I say about this one? I had to bring this up today. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. We'll have to see what gives here. Seakeeper TSA loves to hassle fluffy guys. I say physical profiling. I say physical profiling unfair. Lalita Loco sounds like a blast. You got to do a cruise word battles with us. I agree. I absolutely agree, Lalita. I'd love to do that. Gregory Hartman, hell yeah. Team Tony. Paul Wilgus, yeah, Bruce, do a cruise wars battle. Do a cruise word. Stephen Bean, howdy, hey, steamer. Paul Wilgus, hey, Bean. Richard C., if you book your air through the cruise line, cheaper normally, they guarantee you to get you to, let's read this again. If you book your air through the cruise line, they guarantee you to get you to the cruise. If not, they get you to the next port and pay all your fees. So why not book air as part of the package? Right now, if you can, that's something to seriously look at and consider. If you can, but if you can't, you're on your own, right? And if you're, I'm just going to move my screen in, folks, so don't mind me. Hello, I'm here. I can put my phone up here and read all these. Yeah, this is one of those things. If the cruise line offers a fare, some kind of a deal where you can fly in, great. But if you're coming from like a double connection, 1 or 2 connections, Spokane to Denver, Denver to Atlanta, Atlanta to Miami to make a cruise, you don't dare do that on the day of the cruise. You are nuts. Plus, you're fighting the clock because you're leaving in west, heading to east. There's 3 hours lost already from the west time zone to the east time zone. You've already lost 3 hours. Now, if your flight takes 3-4 hours, that's 7 hours. Now you're 2 or 3, 4 hours late. That's 9-10 hours. You're not going to get to the pier on time. You're going to miss your ship. It's gone. Really battling against it. Wes Morrison, we have always got our flights through Viking Air. Does that help? If you're cruising on Viking and you're going through Viking itself, fair enough. I'm assuming that's your question, Wes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Steamy Bean, I embarked from New York City on the Escape on July 15th. I am in New York City on the 13th. There you go. You enjoy the Big Apple for a couple of days. Get yourself, you can check out a Broadway show or do some shopping or look at hanging out Times Square, go up the Empire State Building, whatever. Go to the Met. Absolutely. This is fantastic. Take the NBC studio tour. Why not? Vicky is here. Hey, Bruce. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Richard C. Hey, steaming, no school. Vicky, hi, Steaming Bean. The Steaming Bean, it's like me on the ship. If I'm expected to be back at 6 p.m., I'm back 3 hours early. Yeah, get there early and don't rush it. Cool Jazz, we'll use Choice Air for Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, guaranteed to get you there. There you go. There you go. Steaming Bean, Bruce shirt. Bruce's shirt. Traveling with Bruce. What the White Beast? Well, it's the Blue Beast today. Kara. Okay, now I'm scared. I'm flying the day before. Kara, you got to go the day before. You just gotta. You gotta. The other thing about flying in the day before, there's a little advantage. The day before, you get to the airport, and let's say your hotel is near the cruise line, and you can get a free shuttle. Fine. But if you're not, don't worry. Rent a car just for one day, and use that day to that night and the next morning. Head to the local Costco, head to your local Walmart, and pick up some stuff for your cruise. That's where you buy your sunscreen. That's where you might buy yourself some Red Bull drinks, or you might get yourself some sodas, or you might get yourself a couple of bottles of wine. Cheap. Stuff them in your luggage and go. That'll pay for the car right there. The savings alone. Anything else you need for the cruise? Any meds you might need. Whatever. You don't have to bother with them through the TSA people. Buy them for the cruise and go. But yeah, gotta fly in the day before. Absolutely. Steamy Bean, never ever fly on the day of the cruise. Blaine, Carla, what time will your flight arrive? Sorry. What time will your flight arrive? Oh, retract. Never mind. What do we got here? Steamy Bean. A lot of Canadians missed their flights this winter due to snowstorms. Carla Minner, we're on the first flight out, so about 7 a.m. Joseph, you should book a bus or train. If you could, I guess you would. Steamy Bean, traveling with Bruce, the Windy Beans. The TWB, the Windy Beans. How about that? Cool Jazz. That's as bad as missing the ship at a port because you didn't get back on time. Oh, that's unforgivable. Sylvia, a few years ago when Hurricane Sandy hit New York City, I was taking the train to Tampa, all Amtrak. All Amtrak trains were canceled. Excuse me. Too expensive to get a flight. I took Greyhound bus. It was a long ride from North Carolina. But yeah, wow. That's when you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I hear you. Wes Morrison, you are correct. The Steamy Bean, my Broadway show this summer is Book of Mormon. Oh, right on. That should be fun. Sylvia, I refuse to miss my cruise, Sylvia. I refuse to miss it. She was not going to miss that cruise at all. Paul Wilgus, you'll love it, Bean, the show. Steamy Bean, school is out and football practice in 15 minutes. Day before is a good way to chill out at the hotel. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you know that you get up in the morning, you get breakfast included in your hotel stay, let's say, then you got a free shuttle to the ship. Oh, stress-free, fantastic. If the shuttle is too packed with people, grab a cab for $5-10 and just go. Oh yeah, do it that way and relax and avoid this stress of trying to fly in the day of a cruise. That's a toughie. It's just not recommended, in my humble opinion. And thank you for your thoughts on all that. Other news today that I was going to mention was P&O. P&O Cruises out of the United Kingdom, which is a Carnival Cruise subsidiary line, one of the 10 lines that Carnival Cruise operates. P&O Cruises is going to be building the largest ship for the UK market called the Iona. It is going to be built in Germany, should be delivered in 2020, about a year and a half, something like that. 2 years from now, liquid natural gas powered ship. It will be 180,000 gross tons, big, 5,200 passenger capacity, to be permanently based out of the UK for its passengers. 15 restaurants, 10 bars, 18 whirlpools, 3 outside swimming pools, 1 inside swimming pool with a retractable roof. This ship is designed for the Baltics, for the Scottish Isles, for Iceland, Ireland, British Isles sailing, because they know they're sailing in all kinds of weather, different months of the year, and they're going to be able to accommodate passengers in their bathing suits with the retractable roof closed in. They even have a indoor-outdoor entertainment area that they've set up. It's going to be quite something. It's called Sky Dome with its retractable roof. Should be an exciting ship. They're quite jacked about it. It is by far, I would say, it'll be at least 1,000 passengers greater than its largest ship now that they're operating. So P&O Cruises, that'll be almost $1 billion to build that baby. That should be an impressive vessel when it is at sea. The other news that I found today that I want to mention was the MSC people. The sister ship to the seaside, the Sea View, will be christened on June the 9th in 12 days. So the Sea View is just about all done up, ready to go. It'll be christened in Genoa, in Italy. It is going to be 153,000 tons, 5,000 capacity, just like the Seaside. And will sail the Mediterranean all this summer. And then it is going to do a repositioning cruise to Brazil and will be in South America through the winter. And if you want a good deal, you can get a 2-week repositioning cruise. I think it's 2 weeks or 15 days, something like that. From the Mediterranean, I believe it's Barcelona to Brazil to Rio for under $1,000 a person, inside room. But as the year goes on, we'll see how those repo prices adjust, because right now they're just posted. We'll see if those get even better than that. But in the Mediterranean this summer, not cheap to be on this ship. They're looking for top dollar. If they don't have the issues on the sea view that they had on the Seaside, they should be okay. But if they do have any of the issues that the Seaside had, and I'm talking about the plumbing, if they have plumbing issues like they had on the Seaside, the sea view is going to be in for a world of hurt, because the Europeans are going to be complaining bitterly about what's going on. North Americans can complain, but you might not hear the complaints in Rome and in Barcelona and in Nice and Madrid and Lisbon and Paris. You might not hear about the complaining Americans on the Seaside, but you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about the complaining Europeans if the sea view is not up to standard. So we'll have to see how this works out. Did they correct the engineering problems that the Seaside had before they launched the sea view to the public? We're going to find out 12 days from now. We'll find out, and we'll keep an eye open on that. We'll see what happens. We won't know until they start it. Richard C. flew in on the day of the cruise. Northeastern hit East Coast heavy snow, made it just as the ship was leaving. 600 of the 2,400 were delayed, and they held the ship in port for 5 hours because of the guarantees. Wow, unbelievable. Vicky, MSC, yay! Steaming Bean, I will miss the David Bowie exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum. Steaming Bean, but at least I get in a Broadway play. Right on, Steaming Bean, as long as it's not cats. No cats. Yeah, I guess you don't want to see cats. You don't want to see cats. I hear you, buddy. Fair enough. This flying in on the day of the cruise, Russian roulette, it doesn't matter what time of the year. Doesn't matter what airport you're going to. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. I freely admit that my wife and we took a cruise on Princess from L.A., the World Cruise Center there, to the Mexican Riviera. We left on a it's a Sunday? Saturday. We left on a Saturday. And Sunday was Super Bowl. And we flew in from Phoenix. We had visited friends from Phoenix. We'd flown to Phoenix, visited some friends, and then we were flying from Phoenix to Los Angeles, LAX, on Southwest Airlines, the day of the cruise. And we had a 7:30 in the morning flight out of Phoenix. We got to Los Angeles at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We were off. We were with baggage at 9 a.m. I knew that it was the day of the cruise, but I also knew that the flight was about an hour-ish, hour and 10 minutes, and that Southwest had 14 flights that day. American had flights, Delta had flights. In other words, we could have had a zillion flights to LA that day from Phoenix. And the final guarantee we had was that if it was, let's say, one of those dusty, one of those mega dust storms came through Phoenix, where, the airport was shut down, we would have rented a car from dozens and dozens of rental agencies. We would have rented a car and driven to Los Angeles, knowing that in 5 hours we could be in LA. So we knew that we were close enough on the day of the sail to make the ship two ways. Best case scenario by air on time, or by air delayed, or worst case scenario by renting a vehicle and getting there. But had we been in Dallas, or had we been in Miami, or been in St. Louis, or in Canada, I would not recommend the day of to even fly to Los Angeles out of Calgary. 3 hours, 15-minute flight. But we got to cross the border. We have to get into the United States. And if it's a direct flight, so be it. But if Calgary is snowed in, or there's a mechanical issue with the plane. The weather's perfect, but there's a mechanical issue with the plane, and it's a United Airlines flight. There are no other United airplanes anywhere near Calgary to replace this airplane. So they're going to have to cancel the flight, put the plane into maintenance up there through Air Canada or somebody else under a contract arrangement, fix that plane that could take who knows how long, and then get it back in the sky. In the meantime, all passengers are stranded. You're on your own. Now, you're trying to find an alternate flight to Los Angeles from Calgary on the day you want to get on a cruise. You're done for. You're just done for. Yeah, I would not want to play that game. And you just start counting the dollars that you're losing out on, and you're not getting back. Cruise lines have no mercy for you if you've missed it for that angle. Steam and Bean football is calling. Later, folks. See ya, Steamer. Paul Wilgus, later, Bean. Yeah, so that's something one has to really keep in mind. You got to know what your limitations are, what your potential is. Can you get to the departure port in any kind of reasonable time frame or not? Yeah, tough. What do you think about this 20% tip idea for drinks? I kind of wonder, is that the line? I kind of wondered when they hit 15%, that would be it. That would be the line. A lot of folks would not want to tip anything over 15% ever. And then they went to 18. They had the audacity to just do it. Now they're going to possibly 20. Well, all cruise lines go to a mandatory 20% tipping policy on beverages, which are already $6 to $12 a shot, depending on what you're drinking: beer, wine, rum and Coke. You got to really wonder what is going to happen. The higher they charge make these prices go up, the more people are going to try to smuggle it on board. People are going to find ways to get crafty. And you got to wonder if this is worth it. It gets to the point where, geez, why don't you just raise the price of the cruise by $5 a day and just bury it in the room charge and get it that way? But you have the hotel department, which are the rooms. You have the bar department. You have the casino department, the restaurant department, and they're all competing for increased revenues because the cruise lines are in effect saying to their little department heads, well, you're behind the beverage department, you're behind the restaurant department in revenue increases, and the spa department is ahead of the casino in improving its margins, and the this department here and this, they're putting them against each other, and the passengers stuck in the middle going, what's going on? They're not aware of this infighting that's going on. And these managers that are trying to find ways to get innovative and enhance their revenues. One of the ways to get innovative on the drink idea was to introduce the drink package, and not only come up with a we'll give you 6 beers for the price of 5, or you can buy a 10 drink package for this amount of money, or you can buy a basic alcohol package or a premium alcohol package, or now you can buy the coffee package, or you can buy the soda package. You've got all of these packages coming out from all these cruise lines that are confusing as all get up, plus the tips. But then the other little game they play is on embarkation day, you get the smiling server coming up to you on pool deck, and they've got a tray full of these frosty drinks in these beautiful little glasses, and they offer you one of those, unbeknownst to you. Not only is that a $12 drink, that's an $8 glass, and you own it. Surprise! And a lot of folks have had the nasty surprise of looking at their bill going, oh my gosh, I had 2 of them. My wife and I each had 2 of these things, and that ran us $80, $90 for 4 drinks. What? Yeah, surprise. You've got to be aware, as a newbie, you got to be aware of the tricks of the trade that is going on here. You got to really wonder. Let's see here. Richard C., 2% on a $10 drink is 20 cents US. No issue on my vacation. Scott Batchley, my cruise leaves on Saturday, and I'm flying in on Thursday. Right on. Blaine, I also agree. I think I would be unhappy. I don't drink, so mandatory would be wrong. Cool Jazz, $15 drink at 20% becomes $18. That's right, $18 drink now. Richard C. So 20 and 30 cents per drink on vacation is a nothing burger. Fair enough. I hear you there. On the other hand, if you're getting a $70 bottle of wine, another 2%, $1.40 more. It all adds up. I mean, it's nickels and dimes here and there, but it adds up. Cool Jazz, Richard C. I checked on Saturday. It was 20% on this NCL. I was checking out. Wow, unbelievable. Well, like I say, Cool Jazz, it might have been, it might be a 20% mandatory charge on one of the ships you're looking at. It may not be fleet-wide. I'm not sure, but I am convinced it's coming. It's only a matter of time. But they did just up the tips on the room charges about 2 months ago or 3 months ago. Back in January, February, we were hearing the rumor, and then it became official. Every cruise line within a week of each other started bumping their daily tipping amounts from $12.50 a day, $13.50 a day, to $14.50 a day, $15, $16, $17. Suites, $18 to $20 a day per person tip added on to your room account. They're just adding it. Rather than making it a percentage of your cruise, they're making it a standard dollar amount, because those of us who score the inside room for, say, an Alaska cruise right now, I was just checking out this morning, you can get an inside room from Vancouver to Anchorage for under $400 a person. It's funny how they don't charge you 15% tips for the room fee. They charge you $15 a day or $13 a day per person tip charge for your room, whether you're in a balcony or an inside. It's the same amount. And on the inside, the insiders are paying a much higher percentage tip-wise than the outsiders, the balcony cruisers. Because if a balcony is $800 and you're paying $13 a day, or an inside is $400 and you're paying $13 a day, the insider is paying a higher percentage in tips. Yet I think the folks in the balcony, they get looked after pretty good, because again, the server, the steward knows, well, you paid $800 each to get this room. I'm going to treat you like gold, like rock stars, because you can afford $1,600 to come here, plus port charges and the tipping and the drinks and the entertainment. Maybe I can score an extra 10 or 20 bucks out of you. Insiders, well, if they're notoriously cheap or thrifty or wise, sometimes staff will attend to you better. Sometimes they won't. I don't know. I haven't had problems myself. I've always been treated just great, and I always take care of my staff, my room staff. I always look after them. But we'll see. Cool Jazz. Matter of fact, if you read the homepage on NCL, think it says Pricing 101. It says so in the fine print. Okay, Blaine, what if I paid my prepaid gratuity when I booked a while back? Will they add more to the cruise in November when I go to make it up? No, they will not charge you more. If you prepaid for your cruises and prepaid for your tipping when it was, let's say it was $13.50 a night for tipping, and then they changed it by the time you got on the board, it was now $15 a night, they won't charge you the extra $1.50. They honor the $13.50 that you've already paid. But if you didn't prepay and now you're on that cruise, you're paying the $15. Yeah. So yeah, you prepaid, you're good. All right. I always prepay my tipping, get it out of the way. It's not on my room bill when I get there. I'm a happy guy. Cool Jazz. Do you know if there's a clause that says if oil goes past $70 a barrel, there'll be a surcharge added to your fare? I do know about that. Back in 2006 and 7, when oil was making its first run for a consecutive number of years through 2005, 6, 2007, 2008, oil was just moving up the ladder and broke the $70 barrier and went up to 80, up to 90, and for a while, it hung around about 90 to $110 a barrel for a couple of years running. And gasoline in California was $4 something a gallon. Phoenix was $3 something a gallon and stayed there for quite some time. Well, cruise lines decided, along with Federal Express, all the courier companies, taxi companies, all kinds of other companies got into this fuel surcharge game. We're going to play a new game called fuel surcharge game, because we don't feel that the prices are going to stay here forever, and we'll just make this temporary. Did you notice that the airlines made it a lot longer than temporary? When they started playing that game with our airfare, we were paying $10 and $25 surcharges for airfare, and they didn't take them off for years. As a matter of fact, I think they're still there, but they don't call it that anymore. You just call it part of your fare. Well, cruise ships did have a $10 a day per passenger fuel surcharge added to cruises for a short period of time. But the cruise lines were the first to drop it, to get out of it as soon as possible. They didn't want that. That was such an unpopular charge that made so many people mad. Federal Express, for example, was trying to charge between $3 and $10 fuel surcharge on a package when an airplane would be filled with 15,000 packages. They're trying to haul in $1.5 million more, or 150,000, whatever it is, for a fuel surcharge. When their fuel bill went up $1,000, they were trying to get 15,000 or 150,000. It was a ridiculous notion, made everybody angry, and a lot of people switched carriers for a while. The cruise lines wanted to get out of the fuel surcharge business as soon and as quickly as possible. But the clause that they have the right to enact it, they never removed it. And it's still there to this day. The $70 a barrel number is generally quite consistent between cruise lines in the fine print of your ticket. And if you go on the website, you look at it, you'll find it. If you dig hard enough, it's buried. It's buried. But the cruise lines haven't enacted a fuel surcharge since about 2008-ish, because in 2009, the financial collapse happened in the United States. And housing went to the toilet. Jobs went everywhere, went out the door through 2007, 2008, 2009. It really hit hard, and the cruise lines eliminated the fuel surcharge as soon as oil started backing off. They got rid of it to preserve their business. And yet the cruise business suffered greatly for about a year and a half because their business was off about 20, 30% for a good year when the economy took the spill and airlines had a tough time and so on. So yeah, that clause is still there. Keep an eye out for that, although I doubt they're going to want to enact it if at all possible. Richard C. Cool. My tips are $728 for a 28-day cruise for two. Minor cost compared to a base fare. It's really nothing. It's $13 per person per day. And I think it's worth it. Peter Heckema, we prepaid our tips on our Symphony cruise in November, he said. Peter, our tip charge was $13 each per day, right on, $13.50 each. Sylvia, I always ask how much the drinks cost, and I only drink about 2 drinks anyway. And the other thing, Sylvia, is if you're on a Caribbean cruise, it's 7 days long, you might be off the ship for 3 days on shore. You can pay shore pricing for some drinks if you want to as well. Save a bundle and not get stuck with the ship pricing. Richard C. So if I have to pay 30 cents more for a drink or $1.40 on my $70 bottle of wine compared to cruise fare, it's nothing. Just have one less drink when on the cruise and you will save. Yes, but if you do that, they'll up the price of the drink. They do their math. The accountants, the bean counters back at head office, they've got the computers locked into the cash register on each ship. They know precisely to the 100th of 1 percentage point how their cruise ships are faring and behaving and performing. And they know that if they bump this and this drops, or they bump that and that drops, if they try promotions, they will keep adjusting until they get it worked out that they can maximize the revenue coming in and minimize the cost going out. So if you drink less, they'll charge more per drink. They might up the cost of a drink package by $2, $5. They'll find ways, but it's all nickels and dimes until you multiply it by the 5,000 passengers on the ship at the same time. But it is big money, isn't it? Really is. Sylvia, I'm drinking a drink right now, laugh out loud. Jamaican Smile frozen cocktail, $1.99 from Food Lion, laugh out loud. There you go. And no mandatory tip involved whatsoever. Cool Jazz. Per tip day is also based on the cabin you have. Haven is like $14.50 a day, I think. Depending on the class of the cabin, Cool Jazz, you're right. If you're in the suite, you're paying top dollar. If you're in a balcony or an inside or an ocean view, it's not as bad. It all depends on the level of what class you're in, I guess. Philios, good evening all. Philios, how are you? Nice to have you back. Great to see you here. Nice to have you. Thanks for the thumbs ups today. By the way, thanks for everybody giving me thumbs ups today. 23 so far. Appreciate it from everybody. They all help and they all count. Gregory, beer pre-gaming now. Beer pre-gaming now. Richard C. Yes, Bruce, you are correct. As more people remove their standard tip off their bills, you just raise the base tip rate to make it up the same amount. So all of us paying tips have to shoulder remove tip. Like I said, if passengers are reducing what they're paying, others will pay more. It all balances out. The accountant, the bean counter, will make the adjustments wherever they have to be made to keep the dollars rolling in, because cruise ships aren't getting cheaper to build. They're getting more expensive to build. And every penny that oil goes up or a gallon of fuel goes up, cruise lines will pay dearly for that because of how much they're buying. But of course, they save on the way down, and they also are able to bulk purchase fuel on a contract basis for 6 months in advance, a year in advance. They can lock in their cruise rates. Interestingly enough, though, if a cruise line 3-4 months ago locked in cheaper gas, cheaper fuel, and in the next 2 or 3 months, if oil goes to $100 a barrel, and the cruise line puts in a $10 fuel surcharge, guess what? You're on a ship paying a $10 surcharge for fuel, $70 for a week each. And yet the price that the cruise line is buying that fuel for, that you're burning, they bought back here when it was way cheaper. It might have been $50 a barrel back then, but it's now $100 a barrel. They're not paying 100, they're paying 50, and yet they're soaking you the extra money. Take a look at the quarterly reports of these publicly traded companies, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival. All the money they're making, tons of dough. The cruise line's doing great. We're doing very well. On the one hand, they're bragging about how great they're doing. On the other hand, they're soaking you the upside, and they're getting it. It's incredible. On the other hand, once they start having to charge, once they have to start charging a surcharge, I think the economy will be in a bit of a teetering point, and that's when they're probably going to reduce their room charges. So it all goes like this. Bean counters are the first to also say to the president of the company, I think you're going to have to lower your prices on your on the cruises because we're 0.5% below our projections for passenger counts. And for every passenger that isn't on a ship, that person isn't gambling if they're an adult. That person isn't buying a drink package if they're a drinker. They're not paying extra for any other services like spa services. They're not on the ship. You got to get them on board. Cut the room rate, make it a deal, or don't cut the room rate, offer more freebies. We'll give them a $50 room credit. Give them a free specialty dining pass. Give them this, give them that, give them anything, get them on board. We got to be at 102 to 104% capacity per cruise to maximize the dollars, because once they're on the ship, we got them spending money in our restaurants, in our bars, on our amenities. So that's what it's all about. Get them in there. I always prepay my tips. Cruise staff does such a great job. Carla Miller says, nice job, Carla. Cool jazz, just like the airlines. Laugh out loud. They're all thieves. They're all crooks. Vicky, it's just so wrong. Richard C., I agree, Carla. You'd be surprised. Last 2 days of a cruise in customer service, people remove the tips. They shouldn't go on a cruise if they can't pay the tip. It is unfortunate to see that. I know that in the UK, it is a bigger issue than in the United States. The UK folks, a number of them, and I'm going to say, generally speaking, and it's just being broad statement, the older the passenger, the more difficulty they have justifying a tip charge to staff. Again, the older the passenger, generally on the UK side versus American side. The younger, they're a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for now? Is it worldly, or is it just used to it? They just know, the younger kids know that tipping is what makes the world go round. It's because it's likely that they, as teenagers and as 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, they're probably working part-time jobs as servers in bars and restaurants and getting tip money for their services, and they understand that you pay it and you get it. That's how it works. My daughter, who's now 30, was waitressing through university, making good money. And she made good tip money because she was a kind of cute and very effective and very good server. She knew how to work it. When I'm with her, we go out somewhere, even if it's like a Denny's, somewhere average, the bill comes, Daddy usually pays the tab. That's how it kind of goes. I get the tab and she's looking over my shoulder. How much you tipping her? Make sure you tip her right. She remembers. She knows that server is a university student, likely, or is a single mom, someone who's working hard and is not making a lot of money on a wage. If they're getting minimum salary, that's it. Minimum wage, that's it. Certain provinces in Canada, certain states in the U.S., the minimum wage may be here for manual labor, But for waiters and waitresses, it's here because the state figures out that they make the difference in tips, so they penalize them by letting the employer pay them less. Absolutely ridiculous, but that's the way it is. My daughter makes sure that daddy puts a decent tip on there because that server is paying dearly to work there and working hard. Very, very interesting. And yet my daughter today does rather well for herself, and but she hasn't forgotten. And so she tips well. Good service, good tip. Simple as that. Let's see what we got here. Philios, coming from a culture where they really don't tip, I can't help but think the cruise lines should pay their staff an appropriate living wage. For the record, we paid our tips anyway. Richard C. Philios, they should build the cost into the base fares and not worry about tipping. Paul Wilgus, I agree, Richard. Cool Jazz, wonder how many people double check their bill the last night. Most be too drunk, I guess. That's possible. Philios, I agree. We're always tip based on levels of service. It's hard to tip people when they do little or nothing. Carla Miller, or instead of calling it a tip, they call it a resort fee. It is a floating resort after all, and resorts do charge a resort fee. Imogene Weston, I don't mind tips for anyone who provides a quality service. Cruising is a luxury. Be a good client and do the right thing. Gregory Hartman, one thing that screws us, if we don't get a tip, we are actually paying the company to serve them because of taxes. Philios, the Miami resort fee annoyed me. I might not want to use the beach. Yeah, these resort fees at land resorts, wow. The one that gets me all the time is in Vegas. You see this $22.99 hotel rate, a super deal in a hotel at a casino, and then you check in and it's a $15 resort fee, and it's December, and you go, oh, resort fee is where's the pool? Oh, well, sorry, sir, the pool's closed. Why? Well, it's winter. It's an outdoor pool. It's closed. Well, then why are you charging me a resort fee? You haven't got a pool. You haven't got a jacuzzi. It's called a cash grab. That's why, because we're offering you the room for $23 a night. We're losing our butts here. We're charging $15 a resort fee to make it a $38 room charge. That's what we're doing. Unbelievable. Now, I'm wondering about the state of Nevada. Have they caught on yet? When the state of Nevada lets you charge $24 for a room, there's a 12 or 18 or 20% tax for the state of Nevada. Is there a tax on the resort fee as well? On the entire hotel bill, or only on the room rate? Is that a way for the hotel to avoid some of the taxing? I don't know. It's a game. It's a big game. What can I say? Gregory, but I am 100%. I am 100% of the service is bad. Don't tip. There you go. Debbie Manuel, I would understand complaining about tipping if something horrific happens. Otherwise, tips have been paid, and usually tip extra to people like Rooster or my favorite bartenders. Richard C. Yes, Vegas, some are up to $30 a day. What the heck? Carla Miller, some hotels charge a resort fee, and they're not even a resort. It's a world gone mad. Yes. Cool Jazz, it's like the car dealer charging you a destination fee, and the car is right there. It's on the lot. It's right there. And then the one I like at the car dealer is the documentation fee. Now, let me get this straight. I want to buy this $30,000 car that's sitting right there. The destination fee, I kind of get that because the car was shipped from the port, wherever it landed at, to here, or it came from South Korea to here. But I think that should be just part of the price, just my thinking. But this documentation fee, wait a minute, I'm buying the car from you, the car dealer. You got the salesman, you got the sales manager, you got the business manager over here. I've been haggling with this salesperson now for 2 hours, who's been haggling with the manager, who finally came over to my table, and we arm wrestled the price of the car. Now I'm in the business manager's office, who's writing up the deal, and they want to charge me a $500 documentation fee. So let me get this. I got to give you $500 so you can write up the deal. I'll tell you what, just give me the pen, give me the phone, I'll write it up for you. What do we have to do for me to buy this car from you right now? What do I have to do? Let me write in my name and address here for it. I can take care of all this. It's all right. You could pay me $500. How about that? It's unbelievable. And yet it's being done. It's being done. And then, of course, there's the Scotch Guard package. Oh, don't get me started on cars. I used to sell cars. Don't get me started on cars. Philios, resort fees seem to be an American thing. I've never known it anywhere else I've traveled to. Richard C. in Rome, $11 per day per person called a tax. So so the U.S. is not alone. Yeah, I think there are resort fields elsewhere, but they call them something else. Maybe Cool Jazz. Buying a car is like going to work. Need to punch a clock for 7 hours. That's right. You got to punch a clock for 7 hours. I think you just buy a used car. Buy a used car from somebody. They paid the dock fee. They paid the whatever fee. What's the price of the car? It's 2 years old. It's got 15,000 miles on it, 20,000 miles on it. You want 20,000? I'll give you 14. Let's work out a deal here. Arm wrestling 17.5. Done. End of story. Would have been so easy. Half an hour. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Scott Batchley. I used to date a professional waitress, and she made more than I did in tips. Didn't seem fair, but she was a great waitress. Yes. Mary Ellen Shaw. To answer your question, Lalita Loca has commercials. Hey, Lalita Loca, are you still here? Talk to me. Are you still here? Gregory Hartman, if you are a great bartender service, the tips are a killer if the price is right. Lalita Loca, are you still here? Tell me if you're here or not. I am dying to know. Let me know, and then I'll ask you the question. But I hope you're still here. Sign in. Let me know. Great waitress. Yeah, my daughter was working at a little pub, neighborhood pub, Irish place. They had draft beer. They had good food. And they had about, they could hold about 40 to 50 people. That's it. Not a huge place. And there would be usually two waitresses on call. She would tell me, she'd come home one night and she said, well, I had an okay day. I said, oh, yeah, how'd you do? So I made $200 in tips today. I'm going, what? And she said, well, actually, I did 260, but I had to give 60 up to the kitchen staff and the dishwasher guys. She's got to pay a percentage off the top to those guys. The rest is hers. But she would come home with $200 plus her wage. Good money. This is in her like graduate years. Like she's going for her master's now. But then again, the customers are dealing with a master's student when it comes to placing your order. So you'd be talking to her about she'd talk to what you'd like, and she'd tell you about the specials. And then she'd say, you might enjoy the so-and-so today. That's a really nice. And then they'd buy that. She'd upsell them. And the bill would be $30 higher than they thought it would be, but they loved it because they were so impressed with her service and the selection. And then she would get a 15-20% of the action, and up goes the tip money. Yeah, pretty good. Gregory Hartman, if you're a great bartender, tips are good. Gregory, Cruise Wars Battle. Hartman, she tips kitchen now. Wow, yeah. Gregory, I'm a chef and I never get tipped out. Gregory, she could eat for free from me whenever. Well, like I said, various restaurants in Canada and in the U.S., it all depends on how they operate their business. But if you've got a larger place, like a Denny's, you've got a hostess who just does nothing but seats people, organizes the tables. Then you've got your dishwashers, you got the busboys. Then you've got your kitchen staff, your sous chefs and your chefs. And so 15-20% off the top. And it got to the point in my daughter's case. She would work at one restaurant where the deal was that whatever the check was, let's say the check was $50. She had to cough up 5% of that money. 5% of that check she had to pay to the restaurant, whether she got a tip or not. So if she got a $10 tip on a $50 deal, she had to give up $250 first. She only got $750. But if they stiffed her and they didn't give her a tip at all, and people do that, she got nothing. She had to pay $250 to the restaurant, because at the end of the night they just tally up all your sales, and you racked up $1,000 of sales, 5% to the restaurant, $50 to the restaurant. You only got 120 in tip money. Well, you get 70. We get 50. But you had a good day and you made 300. Oh, you get to keep $250. So you had to really watch it. And if the customer walked on the bill, you were on the hook for the bill. $52.50, you were on the hook for that bill. Not 50, $52.50. So now you made 125 in tips. You had to pay 50 out to the house. You had 70 left. Oh, and you got this $52.50 charge right here. You're walking home with $17.50 in tip money. You had to watch it, really watch it. The wait staff are under unbearable pressure in certain establishments. Very difficult. Quite interesting. Imogene, the car rentals charge a tourist fee, and I live here. That's right. It's called a tax for those of you who don't vote here. That's what it is. It's called the non-voters tax because you can't vote us out if you don't like it. How about that? Yeah, very interesting. And they take the chances with you as a voter that you won't rebel too much. Yeah. Vicky, does the cruise ship really give the tips to the crew members? I wonder. They do. They really do. There's a formula. It's split out, and the crew members get sort of they get like a printout every month or so, and there's a certain amount of dollars that are credited to their pay packet. So they get their salary, it shows their salary, and it shows their tip portion, what they are getting, and it fluctuates depending on the time of year and the cruise line and the destination and so on. It really does. If you're on the upper end, if you're in the Haven and you're one of the butlers up there, you're getting more tip money than a member downstairs, a crew member downstairs, certainly. Plus, you may also be getting direct cash tips from the person personally. That's yours. That comes your way too. Greg Hartman, exactly. I know what you mean, Bruce, regarding these tips for the waiters and waitresses. Wendy Thompson, I just woke up. It's 96 here in Bland, Missouri. I was on the line making Chrysler minivans. Someone has to sell them. Someone buy them. That's my pension. I buy what I build. Right on. Way to go. Way to go, Wendy. Nina Frank, running my martini bar in London. I've made about £200 tip for 6 hours work. And then that went to me. Right on. There you go, Nina. Filios, I went on a North America road trip with a few friends a few years ago for 3 weeks. We worked out that we tipped over $700 each. I wouldn't give away £500 to random people I don't know at home. There you go. Phil, is such an alien and uncomfortable culture for most Brits, to be honest. I hear you, but it is changing, and it is the way of the rest of the world. Richard C. Waitresses at is it Chickies and Pete's? Waitresses at Chickies and Pete's had to pay the restaurant owner on a per customer basis for the pleasure to work there. Some got stiffed and couldn't pay and had to call parent or be escorted to an ATM. Wow, unbelievable. Nina Frank, I was forced to split it. My customers, I was forced to split it. My customers wouldn't have been happy. It was meant for me, but never with force. Oh, okay, interesting. Richard C., they were sued and lost. Okay, right on. Interesting. Chickies and Pete's. Interesting. Wow, that's unbelievable. I know my daughter. She once she every day she had a story. Every day she had an interesting story. One day where she would come home and say, "Yeah, a guy bought a beer, $7, and left me $20, like $13." Whoa! She had a table of 10. It's a $200 tab. They left her $5. And it cost her, 15 or 20 to the restaurant or whatever the amount was. She lost money on that deal. It just never there were times where the party would be 20 people and it was a mandatory tip. It was built into the deal, might be 18%, 15%. And that took the pressure up. But all she had to worry now is to make sure she collected. Make sure you collect the money. She did have a story once where she had a party of 6 and they wanted the tab split for 4 and then 2 singles. And the party of 4 paid their tab, and the one single paid the tab, and the other single didn't pay. And she was out, $20 or whatever it was, and she was a bit upset. But it was a regular, and the regular came in 4 hours later, and said, "I forgot to pay you. I thought he paid me. I thought he paid my tab. That bugger. I checked with him. He did. And then his bill was $25. He gave her $50. So it runs the gamut. It just runs the gamut. Gregory Hartman, best stories ever are from food and beverage workers and cab drivers. I used to be a cab driver for only 6 months, and I have stories. Cab stories, unbelievable. I think I have to make a video about a cab story or two and let you enjoy those. Because cabbie stories are. I used to be the belle of the ball. I'd go to a party with my wife. This is before child. This is BC, before child. And my friends would come up to me at the party and go, "Well, so what happened to you this week? What kind of story have you got for us?" I'd have stories. Gregory saying true. There you go. Well, there you have it. I think I've been on long enough today. Lolita Loca, I was hoping you were still here, but I'll talk to you privately and I'll ask you that question. I have a question for you. Dying to know the answer, but we should get together. We got to do something. I got to get you on my show, And even if it's on a phone interview and we'll just talk and the folks can hear what we're saying, that'd be great. Put you on a speakerphone and we'll compare notes. That would be fun. I'd love to be on your channel for Cruise Wars. That'd be fun. That would be terrific. Anyway, any other YouTubers out there, you want to do collaboration with me? Let me know. I'd love to do that. Starting today's show and going forward, I will be putting my home address in my description below. Another piece of news today, I created a website. There's now a Traveling with Bruce website. It's up. It exists. It's got nothing in it. It's just got a banner on there and a little hi, welcome to the channel. It will eventually be an up and running website. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I have so much work to do on the technical side of things. It just never ends. I'm also going to start affiliate marketing. I'm going to begin to put that together. It's another form of raising revenue for my channel. Affiliate marketing, in case you don't know, is where, let's say, I'll have an affiliate with Amazon. If you click on my affiliate link and then from there you go to Amazon and buy anything, I get a commission from Amazon having sent you there. Your cost is nothing. It's just whatever you're buying from Amazon. But an overriding royalty will come to this guy because you went there because I got you there. But I have to figure out how to set all that up. And I've got tons of work left to do. I'll be doing affiliate marketing with other entities. And I'll let you all know about it. I will be upfront about it. I'm not hiding it. And it's another way that some of you can help me get by without it costing you any extra money from whatever you're doing. Anyway, I'll let you guys know. The more I know, the closer I get, the better. Cool Jazz. Cab drivers here in New York City are committing suicide because of Uber. A lot of these guys pay top dollar for their medallions, and their medallions are half their value or less, and they're upside down on their cabs. It's terrible. Blaine saying #Vegas. Richard C. Great. We can send you gifts. Yes, you could if you wish. You could send me gifts, postcards, Costco gift cards, cash cards from Costco, Walmart, anything. Set of golf clubs. Somebody wants to send me a set of golf clubs. I could use a set of golf clubs. Gregor Hartman. Probably right, but I need my boy Ovi to get one. That would be nice if Ovi can get the Stanley Cup. Nina Frank, you go, Bruce, are on a roll right now. Thank you, Nina. Debbie Manuel, yay for the website. Thank you, Debbie. I'm working on it. Like I say, bit by bit by bit. I'm trying to build this little YouTube empire from what it is to what it could be. And a lot of you have helped me a lot along the way, and I really appreciate it so much. Okay. I think that's about it. How many thumbs ups did I get today? Where are we at? Anybody give me some more? 32, right on. I got 32 thumbs ups, a couple of downs, but 32 up. Thank you for thumbs ups today, everybody. I appreciate it. We're starting to lose our viewers, so I'm going to say my goodbyes. I've kept you long enough. I'm on tomorrow, Tuesday, for 2 shows, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Trivia night tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And maybe I'll throw in a couple of taxi cab stories for you. How about that? You let me know what you want to hear. Thanks for popping by. Lita Loca, thanks for popping by today, you guys. It's always great to have you. And you guys get a chance to check them out. Anybody else saying hi and goodbye? Thank you all. Cam Wilson, see you all tomorrow. Thanks for the show, Bruce. Gregory, 33. Gregory, 34. Nina Frank got 34. 34 thumbs ups now. Fantastic. Debbie Manuel, thanks for the great show today, Bruce. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See everyone tomorrow. Vicky, thanks. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks for coming by. All of you folks who came by for the first time today, all you folks who are watching that don't say hi, thank you. All you folks who are watching tonight, tomorrow, next week, who are not live, thanks for watching this show. If you're here this long, you are dedicated. Thank you very much. Philios, thank you. Cool Jazz, thank you. Carla, thanks. Sylvia, all you guys. Richard C. Steamer was here earlier. Thank you, Steamer. I enjoyed it. Have yourselves a great evening. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying thanks for joining me today. Today was May the 28th, 2018. Cool Jazz saying goodbye. Thanks, Cool Jazz. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. Till then, take care. Bye for now.